Hello, fellow cleaners, and welcome to the Cleaning Lady podcast. The summer holidays are upon us and the children have broken up from school. But it does feel like it's been summer for ages, what with the heat wave we just had. So summer is one of my busiest times of the year because it's a time of year when the cleaners take time off. So any cancellations that we get from clients are quickly filled to make sure that every client has their clean covered while their cleaner is away. Not only are we busy because the cleaners are away, but we also have clients who want to change their day, or they're away or have house sitters coming. I really wish I could be flexible, but this time of year it's impossible to change a client's day because we have fewer cleaners available. And I don't think clients realise that everyone has their slot. So it's not so easy as to just change the day because every cleaner will already be cleaning for another client on that requested day change. One of Maria's clients, she is away and she wanted to leave a key, which isn't a problem. But she only told me last Friday evening that she was going away, but she still wanted to have the clean. But she asked me if I could pick up the key from her on Saturday morning before she left. So on my day off, I had to traipse over to this client's house to pick up a key on a Saturday morning. I don't know why she didn't just give the key to Maria when she was last there, but never mind. That's why they pay me the big bucks, I guess. So yes, summer is one of the most stressful times in my cleaning business. Sun, sea, sand, and cleaners on holiday. So if no one gets a cancellation, who is there to cover? Well, that would be me. I'm not complaining, by the way. Maybe a little bit, but I am very hands-on. So it's important to me to be hands-on because I know what it's like to clean and to have difficult clients. And it's my decision to do this because I don't want my business to be a faceless corporation. I want my clients to know me and I want to know my clients. And I want to have a really good relationship with them. I want my clients to feel that they matter and that they're valued. But I also want my cleaners to know that I'm there doing the same job as them and experiencing the same terrible vacuum cleaners and the crappy mops as they are, and all the other frustrations that you get with cleaning people's houses, especially when they're in. So, although every house is the same in terms of cleaning, there are things that I need to be aware of so that I can pass on any important bits of information to whoever is covering if I won't be doing the clean. So some houses have special instructions, such as not cleaning the top floor bedrooms or only using stainless steel cleaner on the chrome in the newly installed bathroom. Whatever instructions this particular house happens to have, I need to know all of this so that I can pass it on. One of my cleaners went away on Tuesday, and when I picked up the keys, she said that the boss of her previous company wouldn't want to get her suit dirty and would only sit in her office complaining about all her cleaners. I'm sure she did more than just complain. Maybe she drank coffee too. No, I'm only joking. Running a cleaning business might look like you're not doing much on the outside, but you're likely holding everything together and planning and, all the other stuff that you have to do. So I've got people off on holiday. I've got 2 people off on holiday this week. And Katrina, one of my other ladies, is off on bereavement leave. And she was actually off all last week too. So I contacted all of Katrina's clients last Monday to arrange cover. But one of the clients, Annie, was offered the same day, but it was in the afternoon instead of the morning. So Annie said, no, I can't do Wednesdays at all as I'm out all day. Strangely, I was under the impression that her cleaning day was always on a Wednesday, but maybe that's changed. I mean, it's not the first time where a day has been changed and I'm not kept in the loop. Not by Katrina, but some of my other girls in the past. So I just said, okay, I'll see if I can do another day. But please bear in mind that I do have 2 other girls off this week. So it will only be if I get a cancellation. Luckily, I did have a cancellation. It was on the Friday, so I offered her the Friday. No, I can't do Friday. She says Katrina always comes in at 11 o'clock on Wednesdays, so it has to be 11. But the thing is, if it's a cover clean, then we can only clean when we have the available space. And it's unlikely, extremely unlikely, like it's not going to happen, basically. It's not going to be the exact same day and time because the cleaners will be cleaning for their own clients. Anyway, so she said she could do Wednesday after all, but not in the afternoon. So I asked if she could leave a key. No, I can't leave a key outside when I'm not in. I didn't actually ask her to leave a key outside. I was just trying to find a way to ensure that she didn't miss her clean. Then on the Wednesday, I got a text from Katrina to say that Annie had actually contacted her directly to ask if she was still coming that day. This was about midday. She said that she was waiting in for her and, she was just wondering if she was still coming. I'd already contacted this bloody woman and already told her that Katrina wasn't working that week. I didn't say the reason she wasn't working, but I just said she wouldn't be there. And I was really pissed off, actually, because she shouldn't have contacted the cleaner when she was off. So I had to contact the client and just request to please not contact Katrina while she was away. Actually, I usually ask that clients and cleaners don't exchange numbers, but that's for another episode. That's going to be a very long episode. So then the client said, okay, sorry, I hope Katrina's okay. Followed by, if you get a cancellation next week, then I'll try and fit you in. And I was like, try to fit us in? We're trying to ensure that she doesn't miss a clean. And every slot that she was offered, she declined. So she didn't get a clean last week. But I think a lot of the time clients think that they don't want another cleaner because they don't think that the cover cleaner will know what to do. But every house is the same in terms of the job that needs doing. And every cleaner will know by sight what to do anyway. Sometimes, though, a cleaner will go in and cover when the regular cleaner's off. And then I'll get a message to request that the person who covered if they could be their regular cleaner. So that can be a bit awkward. And this happened to one of my girls, it's happened quite a few times, but recently one of my girls, Charlotte, she was off sick and her client, Liz, asked if she could have the replacement cleaner as her regular. And it was funny because the cover cleaner who went there was quite shocked because there was just mould everywhere, like in the sealant, the grouting around the plug holes. There was a ring of limescale around the taps. And I was really shocked that Charlotte hadn't been doing a good job. The cleaner that went actually got rid of all of this mould and everything using the products that the client had in her house. So she didn't need any specialist cleaning products. She just used what the client had. So I don't know why Charlotte just didn't pick up on that and clean it. So I rang Liz and I just said, why didn't you say anything before? And she said, I just really hate to complain. And she said, every time I had a cover cleaner, they always did a better job than Charlotte. The thing is, Charlotte does go off sick more than every other cleaner combined. And actually, another one of Charlotte's clients requested the cover cleaner too. But come to think of it, it was only Liz and another client called Ella that she was always off sick for, actually. So the last time I called Ella to say that Charlotte wouldn't be coming in that morning, she was quite put out. There was lots of, down the phone at me. I've just stripped my bed. But the thing was, I can't often do anything that day, but I could send somebody the following day. So it was actually Hannah that went the following day. And Ella really liked Hannah and she asked if she could have Hannah as her regular. So Charlotte, as I say, is off quite a lot. And she's not, if I'm honest, she's not one of my most gifted cleaners. I've always had the same complaints about her over the years. I can't tell you how many times that I've told her about mouldy bathrooms, and it shouldn't happen when you have a cleaner. Now, I really do like Charlotte, and she's been with me for many years, but I've decided that now I can't really replace the clients that she loses because as much as I like her, I've got a business and its reputation to protect. I do know that the clients that she has love her, so there's no need to change anything, and I'm not going to go and fire her. But as I say, if she loses a client, then I can't really replace them because when she has had a new client, she loses them after a couple of months. So that's always a sign that there's something wrong. But yeah, she does have a lot of elderly clients that have been with her for years. And like I say, they adore her. So, why change anything now? I just want to say that any names in these episodes, they're all made up names because I don't want any of the girls or the clients to be identified. So, I just need to remember what I've called everyone. That's the problem with using different names. So sometimes when a cleaner covers a house, the client isn't always happy, and occasionally you get a bit of helpful, in inverted commas, feedback. Actually, when I say sometimes, it was probably once or twice. And I do remember it was with a lady called Raquel who covered Hannah's clean. God, Hannah's in this episode quite a lot, isn't she? So yes, it was Raquel who covered Hannah's clean, and the client was called Amy. So Amy messaged me straight after the clean with a list of things that she wasn't happy with. And it was things like a tissue left in one of the bins. One of the buttons on the duvet hadn't been done up. And it was like she went around checking everything after she'd gone, just like almost like looking for problems. And then another text followed a few minutes later, as if it was an afterthought. Oh, and she left 5 minutes early! Exclamation mark. I mean, did she really need to message me about going 5 minutes early? Now, an update on the vacuum cleaner lady. You know, the lady who promised that she would get another one 2 weeks ago. Last week I said that she didn't get it, and she still hasn't got one. And you know, I said I don't know if I would ever fire a client for not having a very good vacuum cleaner. Well, have we fired her? We have. We have, but it wasn't really because of the vacuum cleaner as such. So I asked the cleaner if this lady had got a new vacuum cleaner because she did promise to get a new one 2 weeks ago. Answer was no. So my lady Sarah, my second in command, she contacted the client yet again and said, look, we really do need this vacuum cleaner because it's taking more time because the Hoover doesn't work. And the client came back with, well, I've been on holiday, but the client wanted to know what time the cleaner started and finished. So Sarah checked the calendar and said it was around 12:30. That's what it says in the calendar. Just to allow for travel time. We always give half an hour window. But the client wouldn't have it, and she wanted exact times. Now, I was annoyed because I can't remember what I was doing yesterday. I think I got to my first client around 9:30, 9:40, something like that. Was it 10? I can't even remember. Like, my days are so busy. I just don't know. Anyway, I can't really remember for sure. But the Hoover lady just wouldn't let it go. So Sarah said that this client really wants to know. She said, I've asked if there was an issue, but she just keeps asking for exact times. And I was like, I don't bloody know. I know if I ask the cleaner, it will be the final straw, and she'll likely say that she's just had enough and doesn't want to go back there again because it just feels like she's being checked up on. It was really strange, and I was getting so annoyed by this point. The client was away, so what did it matter what time she was there? And also, what the heck did this have to do with the vacuum cleaner? So I was just like, right, this is absolutely ridiculous. But the client wouldn't budge. So I reluctantly contacted the cleaner and I said that the client wanted to know what time she started and left. 1 till 3 came the answer. Then the cleaner said, look, I'm sorry, but I just feel like she doesn't trust me and I don't want to go back because this is just silly. And she said it's absolutely ridiculous that she wants specific arrival and departure times. This client wasn't even there. She was on holiday. So the problem is I don't have anyone to replace this cleaner because I've decided that I don't want to grow the business any further. And I just want to leave it as it is for the time being at least. So we've had to let this client go, unfortunately. But I was just like, I can't believe this client won't tell us what the issue is and why she wants to know exact times she was there, especially as the client wasn't there in the first place. So Sarah calls me a few hours later after speaking to the client because she had to kind of tell her that we didn't have another cleaner for her. And after speaking to the client, well, the first thing that Sarah said to me was, this client sounds completely different on the phone than in her text. Like, she's lovely on the phone, but in her text, she comes across as being a bit sort of arsey. Anyway, then she went on to say that the client was actually there. She'd come back and she was there until 2:45. And then she came back after an hour. So she couldn't have been there between 1 and 3 because she'd been there. So yeah, if the cleaner had actually gone while she was out, then she definitely didn't do the full 2 hours. She would have only done an hour. So we got it wrong, actually. We got it completely wrong. And I just said to Sarah, why the hell didn't she say in the first place what the issue was? Because we could have sorted something. We could have spoken to the cleaner. We can be tactful, but now the cleaner doesn't want to go back and I've got no one else that can go. So Sarah said that she's going to go and do the last clean for this client next week, and she's going to give her the clean free of charge, which I think is a really nice gesture. But I mean, I'm just trying to think how we can make this right other than give her the free clean. I'm just thinking, well, maybe I could do it. But, I'm so fully booked at the moment. And actually, I'm quite reluctant to go if she's got a crappy Hoover as well. But we'll see. If Sarah does go next week and she's miraculously got a Henry, then, I'll be more inclined to go and just do the clean myself. There was another client that I had to let go this week too. And unfortunately, it's with the same cleaner, but it's for a different reason. Now, the reason here is that they want the cleaner to arrive at 11:45 sharp each week. But the cleaner comes by bus and she comes quite far, like her first job is quite far away. I did explain this to the client, and I also explained to the client that we always give half an hour window to allow for travel time. And, you might want to get a coffee or whatever. I did a whole episode on this a few episodes back. But she said that window is too big and it has to be dead on 11:45. So when I said, well, how about a key? Because we usually, or at least we used to clean when people were out at work. Like pre-pandemic, most people were out. And she just said, look, my husband's not happy about giving a key and he doesn't want to not be here while the cleaner's here. But the cleaner said she wants to stop going there because not only is it difficult to get there dead on 11:45, but she said the husband is really weird and he just sits on the sofa watching her clean when she's there. So I do get why she wouldn't want to go there. You can't really do your job if you're being watched, and I really don't want my cleaners to feel uncomfortable. I mean, God, I would hate that. Like if I had a cleaner, I think I'd just go out or I'd just give them a key or have a key safe or something. I wouldn't sit in the same room while the cleaner's there. I mean, I just feel a bit awkward. But just imagine how the cleaner feels when they're being watched. So yeah, I don't blame her for that. And finally, last week, do you remember right at the end of my episode that I was recording at the time, I got a text message from a client asking me to call them. Well, it was another client saying about the cleaner leaving early. And this client, she's such a lovely, lovely lady. And she just said, I really like Maria, her cleaner Maria. But she leaves 15 minutes early each time. And she didn't want to complain. But she said, there are things that could be done, like the window frames or the shutters could be done in that time. Now, when clients are there clock watching, it is horrible and it's not quite the relaxing environment to work in. But I do think this lady is right from a client's perspective. You're paying by the hour, so you expect the full time to be worked that you're paying for. Now, in the working from home era where clients are home, there are doorbell cameras and you can't really leave early. The alternative is to charge by the job. But then if you charge by the job, then what if the cleaner rushes and misses things to get out of the door in like an hour? But also, if I did charge by the job instead of the hour, I think that would give me even more of a headache because, you've got everyone constantly contacting me asking like, what time is the cleaner coming? What time is the cleaner coming? Oh, they have to be here at 11:45 on the dot. Oh God, I can just imagine if we did charge by the job, people their times would be even more kind of all over the place. I'd have to give them like a 2-hour window instead of half an hour window. So anyway, Sarah, as I say, is going to do the final clean for the lady next week. Hopefully she'll have the Hoover by then. And yeah, I'm hoping to have a good week next week. Maybe it'll be an uneventful week next week. If it is an uneventful week, I do have a subject that I want to talk to you about, and that is the things that we found in people's houses, like the vibrators and that kind of thing. Because one of my cleaners contacted me the other day and she said that she saw like an invitation, like it was just in plain sight about a swingers party. So Yeah, I might do that anyway. Whatever happens next week, I think I'll do that anyway. Anyway, enjoy the sunshine, have a great weekend, and as always, happy cleaning.